and welcome back to another episode of the Euros Daily Debrief. As you can see, it's a slightly different setup. I've got a microphone that I'm testing out today. Apologies though that the video quality isn't the same. It's on my Mac because my phone isn't compatible with this. I will sort that out in the next few days though, hopefully, and we'll get back to a better quality of video. But as for now, we've got our first semi-final lineup in the Euros sorted after Spain beat Germany in extra time and France beat Portugal on penalties. They'll meet next week and it could be an absolute corker, although on the evidence of this game, particularly the France game, it may not be that. Germany and Spain game was really interesting because Spain dominated the ball. It went exactly as I said it would in the predictions, by the way, 2-1 to Spain after extra time. I didn't predict Mikel Merino to pop up with a last minute header. Having covered Newcastle, I have seen that before when he did that against Crystal Palace in his one season at St James's Park. It felt like a game where Spain were going to dominate. They dominated the ball. They looked like they could have run away with it if they could score. And we saw the sort of deficiencies of Alvaro Morata up front. I think it's worked up until now in the same way that France have utilised Olivier Giroud in the past. He's used as a physical presence for Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams to progress the game and to actually impact the game more. They slightly caused an issue yesterday because they didn't have a finisher at the end of quite a few chances earlier on in the game. Then in the last 10 minutes, Germany exerted themselves, equalised, and then it took us to extra time. And it looked like it was going to penalties until Mikel Merino turned up and scored 33 years after his dad did on the same pitch, and then he did the same celebration as well in the corner flag, which was a nice moment. But Spain, for me, are the better team. I think they showed that. And I think the thing to mention about Spain is that people talk about their quality and talk about on the pitch, but their mentality is incredible, and it's been that way since they became this top side. 2008, they went to the quarterfinals, penalties against Italy, won that. 2012, they won in the semi-finals on penalties. In 2010, they went to the very end of extra time to win the World Cup. They've got a strong mentality, a strong winners demand of themselves in the way that Germany do, and I think that was obviously shown clearly in this game that they can go all the way, and I think that makes them a massive threat. We're waiting to see what happens with Pedri. He may not play any more in the tournament because of an injury, but we'll see with that. He came off, Dani Olmo came on and actually scored for Spain's first goal. But yeah, Spain, I think, have shown why they are, for me, the favourites now. I said France before the tournament. Now, actually, I think it's Spain because the way that they can go the distance, as they've shown in the past, and they've got the quality in the right places. Yamal had another assist. He's really impressive. He's 16. On his exams at the Euros, how far ahead he is of the curve and how far ahead he is of where he should be in his career. But very impressive young man, and he will be a key player for them as they push on to go and win the Euros. The other game was Portugal against France. We've seen the same issues with Cristiano Ronaldo in the game. Portugal playing with 10 men, really. That just doesn't make the right movement. Costs them all over the place and didn't come off at all. Scored a penalty, and I understand why they kept him on for a penalty, but they brought Bruno Fernandes off before him, and if that's not symbolic, I don't know what is, really, of what is going wrong with Portugal and why Roberto Martinez doesn't have the right approach to what he's trying to do. And I think Portugal went out deservedly. The penalties were brilliant though all the way through until the winning one scored by Hernandez. Mbappe had come off as well, which could have cost them. We could have been sitting here talking about bringing Mbappe off in extra time. They could, at that point, it would have been more sensible just to keep him on to take a penalty. But France have gone through. Didier Deschamps, though, I understand why he does it because he's won tournaments, he's won titles, he's won the World Cup, been to the final of the Euros. He's very much in with a shout of winning the Euros this time, but he doesn't get the most out of that squad. He's got so much quality. You look at what Spain did in 2008. They leaned into what they had. Luis Aragonés ripped up his initial plan and based his plan around diminutive midfielders. That's what he had at his disposal, and that's that's somebody who's come from Madrid. That's a hard-lined anti-Barcelona man, really, in terms of everything that they stood for. But he accepted what he had and went with it. That's what Didier Deschamps probably, I think, should do. They're still in with a shout. You can't really blame him for that as well. I would also say Gareth Southgate should take a leaf out of Luis Aragonés' book and lean into what he's got, as I've said before as well. But we've got one semi-final coming up. We've got two more games tonight. England against Switzerland. I've already said that I don't think England will get through because of the way they played and because of the way Switzerland have played in this, in the way that they'll cause issues. And then there's also Netherlands against Turkey. So really, really entertaining games tonight. I'll be back tomorrow to discuss them. Thanks very much, and I'll see you then. Cheers.